Hi Libra, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic cross spread as always, and also pulled the Four Agreements and Wisdom of the Oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, well, we have the moon. At the time of recording this, we haven't had that second moon in Capricorn just yet, so that's going to be the first major lunar cycle. And then, of course, when we're actually in August, we're going to have a new moon in Leo and then a full moon in Aquarius. So the Capricorn full moon, of course, will be in your 4th house. And then the August ones, the Leo one will be in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, groups, friendships. And then the full moon in Aquarius will actually be in your 5th house of romance, creativity, children. Alright, we have Sagittarius, and Sagittarius energy for you guys is your 3rd house of communications, short journeys, siblings. Astrologically speaking, it's a little quiet there, but could still be a focus on an area of life, especially given that we will have Mercury retrograde during August as well. And we have 6, so 6th house energy for you guys is Pisces, and of course we have Neptune retrograde there, and also Saturn. And 6th house in general points to health, work, daily routines. So yeah, definitely gonna have an impact on that area of life this month too. So we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. Alright, in the main situation position we have Temperance, so Sagittarius energy, which we also saw on the dice. And then challenging that, we have the Queen of Swords, which is actually the court card for your sign. So it could just be saying that maybe you guys are getting in your own way around a certain situation this month, and possibly with communication, right? Given that, like we said, Sagittarius is your 3rd house of communication. So if it's not just communication in particular, though, it could even just be saying that maybe you're getting in your own way as far as maybe at one point you were a little bit more willing to trust your intuition, but now you might be trying to operate a little bit too much with just a logical thought processes to arrive to conclusions. So that could be causing a bit of a conflict for you guys this month. All right, in the foundation position, we have the 7 of Cups. Now, for some of you, maybe this is saying that for whatever reason you feel like you can't trust your intuition anymore, right? Because if we think of this as like just intuitive insights, you might feel like, okay, those seem to be a little bit scattered, right? So maybe for some of you it wasn't so much a deliberate choice to move away from trusting your intuition, but for whatever reason you might feel like it's not as clear as it has been, so now you are trying to operate from more of a logical side of things. All right, in the past position we have the High Priestess. So at the very least, this is an indicator that always hasn't been the case for you guys, right? Because the High Priestess is very much an energy that would trust their intuition, right? We see the moon at their feet there, which to me represents having that control over your emotions, over your intuition, over your insights in that regard as well. So yeah, could just be saying that maybe this is some weird energy blockage you guys are going through at this time. All right, in the present position, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So this is Taurus energy here. And for you guys, that's your 8th house of death, rebirth, intimacy, investments, right? So maybe in that area of life, maybe you've experienced some setbacks, right? So maybe that's something where, and let's just say hypothetically, if you made some investments based on your intuition and they don't seem to be working out too well, right? Then maybe that's why you're like over adjusting now, like, okay, not going down that road again. But if not, that could just be saying that maybe you're feeling a little bit burned out as well, maybe just energetically speaking. So when that tends to happen, right, if we are on the verge of burnout because we've been overworking or just stressed, that could lead to your intuition being thrown out of whack as well. All right. In the near future position, we have the Star. So this is the major arcana card for Aquarius. So to me, this is that when we do hit that full moon in Aquarius, especially given that the moon came up in your dice as well, that could be a key time for you guys to feel a shift, like, okay, now you're on the other side of that thing, right? So for whatever reason, like we said, it seems like there was some kind of an energetic blockage. that was leading to you guys feeling like you couldn't really tap into your intuition, trust your emotions as much, but looks like around that time you will feel like you are able to do so again. Right. In the position of your influence in a situation, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, again, I feel like this is pointing primarily, most likely, to that Aquarius full moon energy as the key time where you are going to get that insight and things are going to start to clear up for you. All right, in the environment position, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Taurus energy here. So yeah, kind of the same thing I was seeing with the Five of Pentacles. So like I said, maybe for some of you that is what's been at play there, right? Maybe you had some kind of a financial setback, and now because of that, you've just been dedicating so much energy to that one area of life, which understandable, right? Like finances are important for just day-to-day living, so that could have just been overwhelming you to where all these other areas of life were thrown out of whack because of that. So I could just be saying that that's what you guys have been dealing with lately, and maybe trying to figure out a better pathway forward. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, to me, this is saying that I would view this as more of a hope in a situation where you're hoping to being able to hold on to the things that are important to you, right? And like I said, maybe for some of you, you are hoping to be able to reconnect with your intuition, because like I said, for some of you, it might not have been initially when I first saw that layout, I was thinking, oh, maybe it was a bit of a deliberate choice on your part to neglect your intuition and in favor of just more logic. But then as I started to get a little bit deeper into the reading, I was saying, okay, well, for some of you, maybe it actually wasn't deliberate at all. It was just one of those things where, you're like, okay, I'm trying here, it's just not working. So you might have over-adjusted to the more logical side of things to compensate for that. But yeah, to me, this looks like it was saying that for a lot of you, you are hoping to be able to tap into your intuition again and trust your emotions again. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Four of Pentacles. So Capricorn energy here, and this does remind me of the fact, especially given that we had some Aquarius energy in your spread as well, this does remind me of the fact that Pluto is currently backtracking out of 0 degrees Aquarius toward the last 10 degrees of Capricorn again, which will be in September. So maybe that's part of what it is too, right? So maybe this was almost like a comfort, a familiarity thing for you guys, to where you're like, okay, when times do get hard, maybe you overemphasize focusing on finances, for example, right? So in a weird way, even though it doesn't necessarily seem to benefit you, it's just one of those things that you're just comfortable doing, right? So it's almost like going into autopilot. And for some of you, might feel that energy coming up to the surface for you again. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that there is still the potential for you guys to have that breakthrough, right? To figure out why you are going through those types of cycles, right? And why maybe this, if this is something from the past coming back up to the surface again. For one, obviously the Mercury retrograde could be at play as far as that goes to an extent. But yeah, it could be one of those things where now maybe you're being called to look at it to figure out, like, okay, what is at play there? Why does that happen, right? So that could be what you guys are experiencing this month. Moving on to your 4 agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word and speak with integrity. Let's see if we get that to focus. There we go. All right, it says, say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So definitely an interesting message there. I don't see any indicators of too much in the way of harsh communications, but I mean, given that we do see the Queen of Swords in a challenge position, maybe for some of you there might be that energy that bubbles up to the surface for some of you, especially like we said, given that there will be the Mercury retrograde. So just be on the lookout for that. And moving on to the Wisdom of the Oracle card you guys got, we have All That Glitters. There's the artwork, and the number is 16, so we'll see what that has to say. Right? Essential meanings says a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. The oracle's message: it's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status, or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the mask people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all that glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or person? So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because maybe that does go into, for example, maybe let's say if some of you are placing too much value on financial success, right? And maybe it's just been wearing you down. You're like, okay, I viewed it as a path to my happiness, but it just seems to be draining me more than anything, right? So maybe some of you be reevaluating that area of life, but hopefully that resonated. All right, the relationship message says sometimes we try to become something we're not to impress others. We embellish a story a bit, adding some dramatic elements to make us more appealing. The real person becomes hidden behind the sparkle and shine. Then there are times when we don't see the true value of someone else because he or she may not have the glitz and glamour that seems so desirable. Now is the time to look past the surface, beyond the mask, to the essence of a person. Who that person is, not what he or she has or can give you, is important. See beyond the glitter and look for the inner glow. Use the eyes in your heart. Let go of artifice and let what is authentic shine. It's an interesting message there because this really did seem like a lot more of a solo journey, but I will say for some of you, for example, this is maybe a relationship dynamic we're seeing there, right? And if you're like, oh, this person doesn't seem to be too well financially, right? And we're struggling, things along those lines, maybe it's asking you to look at that from a different lens. But hopefully that resonated. And the prosperity message says, sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold and you just can't resist it, especially when it appears others are doing so well and have hit the motherlode. During the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune and then deserted entire towns after mining depleted gold veins in the earth. So too can you deplete yourself as you chase after the latest shiny thing that has caught your eye. There is a mercurial quality to your present circumstances. Pay no attention to those who chase after fool's gold. Resist the temptation to be jealous of others. What they have achieved may not be the true success you seek, so don't compare yourself to them. You see only the surface right now, only the sparkle. Be assured that you will experience your own shining moment if you stick to what you know. All that glitters may not be gold for you. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, and then that did make me think of the fact that even though most of the Mercury retrograde will be happening in Leo, it's technically going to start in Virgo, which is your 12th house too. So that could be what's causing some of these things to come to the surface as well. But I hope whatever is any of you guys will wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.